listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. Now, the largest new media platform on the web and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean. Johnson.
From Los Angeles, California, and Maria Menounos, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV Spotlight On. Spotlight On is a long-form interview series featuring actors and TV personalities. And now, from the world's #1 TV after-show platform, this is AfterBuzz TV Spotlight On.
Bet you heard this before.
I feel like I gotta walk.
Well, hello, and welcome to another episode of AfterBuzz TV Spotlight On. This week's episode, we have two fabulous guests in the house. Woo! And if you could guess by the music, they're from Mob Wives, New Blood. The first is Renee Graziano. Say hello.
Hi, everybody.
Hello. And we've got some sister action in the house right now. We've got Jennifer Graziano. Hi. And both of the women are here to dish and talk about Mob Wives, our favorite reality show on TV.
Favorite.
And I'm your host, Erika Garcia Rojas, and I'm joined here by my two wonderful, amazing co-hosts.
I'm Charlotte Broadbent. What's up, guys?
I'm Roxy Striar. Happy to be here.
We're so happy to be here, and we can't wait to get in and get all the juicy details of Mob Wives.
And I will give it to you.
And we know. We do. I believe you.
She's having a heart attack right now. I might have to stop her.
Is this like so out of your comfort zone doing
Let's
things
go.
like this?
Let's do it.
Her giving the details.
Oh,
Okay. All right.
Sorry,
so,
I speak the truth. If you don't like it, don't listen.
So I got one word to say right now.
Go.
Delicious.
No, I knew.
You know what? I expected you to wait a little while. I brought a cleaver for you.
Oh my God, the cleaver's coming out early.
We're going to get out.
The cleaver came out early.
And we know that you know how to use a meat cleaver.
I most definitely do.
You got a whole book on it.
I do. But we're going to leave this here for your little smart remarks.
All right. Okay, so we got delicious out. It's thrown out there.
Who cares?
So how did it go so out of hand with delicious? Like,
well, look who I was dealing with. I mean, really now.
No,
Go,
she says who
please.
cares. That's how I feel about the delicious thing.
Well, I think we all felt about it, but it got dragged on. Was that
Okay.
you, the producer?
No. First of all, she says who cares now. During the time, she cared, and she cared because she took it as a disrespect. The word delicious is not what the problem was. It was the action behind it. We did only captured as long as her and Natalie were arguing over delicious.
Okay.
Which kind of dragged out in my perspective
Yeah,
as well.
okay, I'm sorry, production. No, that's not the way it goes. Okay, so here's how
Are
it
you going
is.
to tell me how to make a donut?
No, not at all. But what I'm going to say is...
I think you should move that over.
Put it away.
What I'm going to say is I could care less about the word delicious because that's silly. It's just, you just, and ladies, I'm sure you agree with me, it's rude. You don't kiss somebody that you don't know and you hardly know me and then you refer to the man as delicious or you smell delicious. I don't care. Say he smells good, what is that? I want to buy it for my boyfriend. I don't care about that. But to say, oh, you're delicious and nearly like slobber on the person is just obnoxious and rude and immature and not the way I would, not the way that any of my friends have ever been. So for me, it was a little bit uncomfortable.
Right, but it's interesting because the way that you dealt with the situation at your launch party, when she gets up and she sings that song, you were so over it and mature about it. You were like, she's nobody, I don't care, I don't even want to give her the camera time, I don't care. So I would think coming from that Renee, we would maybe see that Renee when she first called your boyfriend delicious.
Never mind, he was okay. That's another
sorry,
thing.
the guy you were seeing.
No. I just want to make that clear because people keep asking about him and asking, do you not see each other anymore because of your behavior in Vegas? And I really want to clear this up. Michael and I were friends that went on a couple of dates.
Okay.
He's a great person. We're friends to this day. By no means did anything that I did affect it, but in the way that I felt was I wouldn't want to put Michael or his family or friends through my very bad behavior. So it was more my decision than anything else. He's my friend. He would rock with me to the day, to the end. But it's not something I'd want to do to another person. That wouldn't be really my behavior was horrible, and I wouldn't want that to be I wouldn't want that to affect him.
But the question was.
Well, I'm wondering what changed then, because the reaction from that, Renee, was very different than how you reacted when she sings this whole song about Delicious, which in my opinion was the way more rude thing to do. I mean, that was absurd.
I would have been way more mad
not
at
at all. Not at all. Because what's rude is you do not disrespect a woman. Another woman, women aren't supposed to disrespect each other. All we have is each other. You know what I mean? Then it's all the men trying to get at us. So for me, it was like, if someone was to call said my father smelled delicious, the reaction would be a lot worse, but it would still be on that level of like, what are you delicious? What do you think of when you think of delicious? Well, wait, what do you think of?
Well, here's the
Yummy.
thing.
No,
Like
thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
but here's the
Food
thing.
and apple. Something sweet, something you eat, correct?
Yeah.
But she's also
But
saying
from
in a
the-
sexual way she sees it.
From a viewer
Okay, I know.
perspective-
She's on my page.
From a viewer perspective, I have to say, and watching, like, I get when I hear you say all that, but in watching it, it didn't look that bad. Like, her intentions was, ooh.
Were you watching the same show?
I was watching it.
I didn't say she wanted him. I just said it was rude. And that's my point. It's rude. You disrespected enough. You just don't do that. The way I grew up, you do not do that. Like, if somebody ever told my mother she smelled delicious, he would never make it home. Straight and simple.
Okay, what I think is.
Let's be real about it. Would
yes.
anybody's father be okay with somebody calling their mother?
I think the way you're sitting here now saying that's rude, I think that's exactly what my reaction would be. I would say, well, that was a little rude, but I don't think I would say that was really rude and now we're done and then make it and escalate to that level. But that's not saying that that was wrong for you to do. It's just interesting how you reacted so strongly then, and then she sings an entire song about it, and all of a sudden you're like, you know what? F her. I don't even care.
Because she's a joke. She's a joke. At the end of the day, what she did was rude and obnoxious. But her actions later on they were a joke to me.
I think that Renee was also, it was her night to celebrate her book. It was dragged on, like you said. She was over it.
Yeah.
She was over it. She let it out. The night was about her. This is about positivity. I'm going to keep it positive. Let her do what she's got to do over there. I'm not changing my behavior or my mood for her.
Right, but she also did it on purpose, trying to push another button of mine. So then that's where my maturity comes in, and I know what you're doing to me.
Right.
What am I going to step in?
Yeah.
That would be ignorant on my part, and I'm definitely.
So you didn't want to give her what she was looking for at that
Exactly
point.
not.
Gotcha. Perfect.
Oh.
Well, do you feel like you can tell how she's going to react as her sister? Are you like, so you have two hats on at the same time. You try not to. You got to take the sister hat off when you're in the producing hat mode. But are you sometimes thinking, wow, I know what's going to happen. This is really bad.
All the time. I'm like, oh, no, please, no, don't do that. No, I can tell. But like you said, I have to remain neutral at all times. So a lot of times I have to let it happen. You won't see me telling her to stop. You won't see me telling any of the women to stop. I have not done that since day one. When it is getting out of hand, I'll, very collectively be like, okay, enough is enough across the board. Let's all settle down. This is crazy. But I'll never kind of pick and choose or say you're wrong, you're right. It's not my place. My place is to make television.
Okay, you know what? What you didn't see in that, I'm just remembering, what you didn't see or they didn't air was her saying, I know you're so much older than me, was another one of the comments. So it wasn't just the delicious. It was a lot more than that. That was just, to me, was like, what? I could curse?
Yeah, you can curse.
It was like, what the fuck did you just do? What the fuck did you just say? Like, it was a numerous amount of things, like calling us whores, like, oh, you're my whore. No, sweetie pie, I'm not your whore. I'm not a whore. He is very handsome, and yes, he did smell great. Now, if you would have said he smells great, it wouldn't have affected me as the word delicious.
It's a provocative word.
It just reminds me of like whipped cream and sweets and candy and chocolate. That's what it reminds me of. So
that you want to eat.
Yeah. So for me, that's what I heard, because you also have to remember something, is I've had a lot of problems with my ex-husband and women. So this just wasn't like an attack on her. It was almost like, don't get in, especially if she knew how I was.
She did
don't
know?
Yeah, I made that clear. Everybody knows how I am from day one. What's mine is mine, it's mine, and don't touch it, period, unless I give it to you.
She broke the woman code.
That's the way
Yeah.
I felt. You know, and yes, I did overreact, but you know what? And I'm going to say this. Yeah, maybe I just did it a little bit on purpose.
Yeah,
Oh.
no,
How about
that's
that?
fine. I know sometimes you just feel like blowing up at
Like,
somebody because
really,
you want to.
just go the
Yeah.
fuck over there.
So still on, let's move on from Delicious.
Thank you. Really.
But
you,
still on the Natalie thing. During the finale, it was kind of a little bit of a bomb that got dropped that her and you were using drugs. It was kind of thrown out there, and there were a lot of questions that were asked, and it didn't really seem to be clarified what really happened. What happened?
I'm not going to even, all I'm going to say is do not speak my truths and expect me to hide your lies, period. And my recovery is my recovery now. And I'm tired of sharing it, to be quite honest, because it's getting exploited now. My recovery is something very, very serious, and I struggle with it daily.
Right.
You know, and sometimes it's a lot worse than other times, but for someone to downplay it or try to out me on other things, I know when I screw up.
Right.
I'm the first one to say I did it. It was me. It was all me. But don't play Miss Innocent. Just don't do it. You're better off not even touching the subject. Therefore, I don't gotta say what I want to say.
But why do you think she would do that? Was it a convenience? You know, why would she throw you under the bus then
Because
if
she was
you
tr-
could
she-
drag her down too?
Okay, first of all, everybody knows that I'm not a rat, so that's
Right.
the last thing that I do. Okay. She also was trying to out me every way. But listen, and I'm going to say this, and I know you're sitting here, and it's going to make you uncomfortable. There's a lot of jealousy with those women right now. I'm really ahead of the game. And here's how I see it. If there was a 5-lane highway, we can all get to our destination as fast as we want if we only stay in our lane. But the second you try to swerve into somebody else's lane, you cause traffic, you cause accidents. Stay in your own motherfucking lane and get there. Like I am.
So jealous in the way what? Because you're Jennifer's sister, because you've been around for
Absolutely.
longer? Like, what's the jealousy coming from?
The jealousy is you're coming in season 4. It's no secret that I'm the executive drama queen on the show, okay? And if somebody wants that position, instead of trying to take it from me, ask me, I'll give it to you, because it's really a very lonely, grueling position to have. And it's not that I create drama, you know, and that's what, you're not going to like this.
Seems like I don't like any of this so
No,
far.
I'm sorry. This season, I definitely feel there were people in production, new production, that have spoken to the girls and tried to amp up the new girls a little bit more. And that was unnecessary because I stay drama-packed. You don't have to create drama with me. It's going to happen. Like you said, the word delicious. Did anybody think that was ever going to spark a whole thing? No, not at all. So you don't have to feed anybody anything with me. And again, I don't mind sharing my spotlight with anybody. You know, I always try to say, like, the stars. There's so many stars in the sky. Some shine brighter than others, but they're all stars. So I don't understand why you got to, if you're the little dipper, that's your position, play it. I'm the North Star. That's just the way that it is.
You're like, I'm the sun, all
But
right?
yeah, but yes, and the moon, the sun and moon. But again, we're all up there. So what's the big deal if we're all doing the same thing? You know, I would like for the women to see it more that way than like, oh, I have to have as much money, or I have to have a book, or I have to. Listen, God brings it when your time is right, you know, and I'm a firm believer of that.
So, Jennifer, do you not agree with what Renee said in the sense that she's saying production, it was kind of pushing the new girls out?
I said new production.
New production.
Okay.
New
I
production
think that-
helping new blood.
Right, that's what she said, yes. I think that every girl on the show has their own conspiracy theory about what's going on with, you know, behind closed doors, or what's going on with the other girls, with the other producers. And I can say from a perspective of knowledge, that doesn't happen. It's just, you know, Renee...
Renee's shaking her
No,
head.
no, no, because
doesn't-
I don't want to out the person right now, and I know it for a
It
fact.
doesn't happen. And what she's talking about is, you know, will a new producer or even an old producer guide a new cast member? Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't they?
What
They're
does
brand
guide
new.
mean, though?
Okay. You know, you might want to show up to work looking a little better, or you might want to do your hair nice, or you're looking a little shitty, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So will they kind of try to help them boost their persona? Yeah, 100%.
Or you might want to confront Renee before she confronts you because Renee has some information on you.
So instigate.
You know what? Let me take it back then. Yes, new production, I felt, instigated a situation between Alicia and I. And that's what I'm speaking about. It's about Alicia and I. It was instigated. It was unfortunate because it didn't have to happen. Other things would have happened without that, and that was that's what really kind of set me away from everybody and made it a little. Why I'm wrong?
Are you talking about the wiretap situation?
You're looking at me. I can feel it.
I'm always looking at it.
I'm not talking about the wiretap. I'm talking about
the paper in Vegas.
Okay, that's an outright lie. You put a picture on Instagram, yeah, it's my fault. Okay, you join a show, Mob Wives, and it's my fault. Please, with that nonsense. I'm talking about the old homestead, the fight where Alicia and I were one-on-one, and there were a lot of mean things said back and forth. And her saying, I have a picture of, this guy that she's supposedly involved with. First of all, I would, the picture that she was referring to was on somebody's Facebook. Again, that's not my Facebook. It's not mine. But I would have never even brought it up because I wouldn't want to disturb a family that way. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I just think that sometimes when your back is so pinned against the wall, and I'm talking about Alicia's right now, she's just looking for anybody to blame, and you happen to be there, and it was kind of easy to look at you and say, you're doing this.
Okay, but you need to blame yourself.
Right, of course.
Because it's your problem.
So I have to ask you about that. I actually read a quote of yours the other day, and I want to make sure that you said this, and this is what you still believe. You said, don't go on a show called Mob Wives and expect people not to talk about your business. I'm tired of it. I didn't commit her crime. I'm not responsible. I'm over it. I was actually trying to help her out, but she chose to rip it apart instead. Miss Innocent, you're guilty. I'm done. What does that mean?
Yes, I said it.
Yes, you said it. And,
yes.
And what does that mean?
That means do not blame me for what you did. You can't hold me responsible for what you're in trouble for. I didn't do it with you, and if I did, I would have take the blame for you. That's the type of person I am.
Right.
So here you are saying, I have this open case, and and my thing is, first of all, it's not an open case, people. It's closed. She pleaded guilty. And I'm only going based on what was said. That interview, FYI, was only because she brought something up in an interview prior to this.
Right.
So they asked me a question, and that was my response.
Okay.
So let me make that clear. I could care less what the girls do. I really don't. I don't care who you, this is going to sound really bad, but excuse me, suck this. Yeah. I don't care. Yeah. I really don't.
Because you're staying in your lane.
Because I don't care. Whatever makes you happy, do it, and do it until you're not happy, and then move on to something else. But don't sit there, play innocent, bring my name into it, tell me it's not my business, but you mentioned my name. It's just like this ugly, vicious circle, and it's sad because, I think she's a great mom. I think that she has an amazing fashion sense, and that her and I would have gotten along in that department, absolutely. I think we could have been friends, but it just, stop already. Just stop. Because you're making yourself look foolish. Because I know the truth. And I know the answers. And again, that's where I say, don't speak my truth and expect me to hide your lies. I'm tired of it. You've made me the big bad wolf. You try to make my own fan base turn on me. That's ridiculous. Instead of being my enemy, be my friend. With me as your friend, I'm going to push for you as much as I push myself, maybe even more. My sister will tell you, I love watching people prosper. I love it. I love helping people and paying it forward because God has given me, such He's given me my life. I mean, there's been times where I have been so down and out and close to a place where it's so ugly for me that I don't need your bullshit and your problems. I have a dark little world of my own that I'm trying to brighten up. Mm-hmm. So it just feels like, give me a break, you know what I mean? Give me a break and I got your back. Just enough. If that's the way it feels to me is enough.
When you're referring, though, to the truth, the truth, what are you referring to when you say that?
I'm not going to tell you because I'm not going to spill other people's.
She pleaded guilty.
I'm not going to. No, I'm not talking about Alicia.
That's what I meant. What were you referring to?
No. That has nothing to do with the case. That's what I thought
you meant. Yeah.
Her case. I don't know anything about her case. I don't want to know about her case. I'm glad that the guidelines that she's looking at are very low. I pray that the girl gets house arrest. I don't want anybody to go to jail. That's mean and cruel. Her business is not mine. But when you include my name in it, it becomes my business. So when I was speaking to those wiretap things, okay, I never heard the wiretaps. Somebody said in when I was in their company, they knew what was on them, and supposedly Alicia, I don't, whatever it was. And I was just telling the girls what I had heard. I used the wrong words, and I apologize for it. And Alicia and I had worked through that, and she also knows I had nothing to do with going to, the newspaper. I don't do rat shit in plain English. That's not me, and I don't care. I honestly don't care. But when you put your pictures on Instagram, like I do, and people want to know where I am, and this, it happens. So, when you have, like you guys that follow us, Fox News that follows us, The Post follows us, how are you telling me that they can't find out where we are, what we're doing, what we're wearing? It's almost ridiculous. It's like there's an eye in the sky.
Your point is, because are you confused? Because I'm a little
I think I've learned to speak Renee after the few years. I think our fans have learned.
Erika's confused.
Basically what she's
I can say it. Erika's confused.
Alicia accused her of feeding a picture from Vegas and information from Vegas to the press. Renee's saying, no, honey, your own Instagram did that. They pulled that, whether it was AfterBuzz or the New York Post, they pulled that picture from your own Instagram. So stop telling me it's me. It wasn't me. Is really what she's got.
Yeah, like I think when you own your mistake or you're wrong or whatever it is, when you own it, it's so much easier to get over it. You know what I mean? And I had to do it for myself with what happened in Vegas. I had to own what I did. Otherwise, I was never going to be where I am right now. And I don't want it to seem like that I'm trashing them because I'm not. Because those wouldn't be the words. Those wouldn't be the words that I used if I was trashing. Trust me. I'm responding to what they're putting out there. This is my rebuttal. This is my words. Right. They just went on Bossip, Drita and Alicia, and they sat there and laughed and made jokes and kind of down. They don't stop throwing their digs. Like, I'm not throwing digs. I'm trying to, clear things up. It's not a dig. My dig with Natalie's a jerk-off. That's a dig, okay? That's the way I feel. There I threw it. But I don't feel that way about Alicia. I just wish that Alicia could comprehend that I'm not her enemy. You know what I mean? And please don't make me an enemy. That's more or less what I'm trying to say is I'm not one. You could make me one. And if you make me one, then we have a problem. But I don't want to be her enemy because I feel bad for the woman. She has 3 children, 3 beautiful children, and I know that she has, gone through her own emotional, trauma, and I don't want anybody to hurt that way. It's hard. I know what it feels like. It's horrible, but don't gang up on me and don't ever try to bully me, ever. That don't work.
And you have a history with Alicia's husband, Eddie. Does that play a part into how you feel? Do you feel a bit more remorse for her because of your relationship, your friendship with Eddie?
My relationship with her husband has been a friendship from day one since we're 16 years old. And I understand as a wife, you want to know when your husband has wronged you. But to come to his friend and ask and then expect me to tell when you clearly know I'm not a tattletale is almost like, are you fucking serious? Like, I wouldn't tell on anybody. You know what I mean? I just, even if I saw, if it was my sister, if one of my sisters were married and I saw their husband, I wouldn't go to my sisters. I would say, you got 24 hours to tell the truth. And if you don't, then you got a problem. I'm going to give them the option to clear themselves up. I'm not going to run and do it. So why would you think as a friend, I'm going to go to you and just offer up? Offering up information does not come out of a Graziano. Not at all.
Absolutely. You guys mentioned earlier you were talking about family, and I just want to touch upon your father a little bit here. Not calling him delicious by any means. Just,
Not if you want to make it home.
exactly. So I know at the beginning it was really, he didn't want you guys doing the show. He was really anti it, and you guys weren't speaking for a little. Is that correct?
Yes. He's completely against the show. He does not like it whatsoever. I think also in the beginning, it was a big shock to him. Like, how could they do this? Like, so he was very, very angry with us. And, you know, just him and everybody else who has seen the show over time have realized that the show is not about the men.
He does not watch the show.
No.
He doesn't watch.
No.
Why was he so angry? I know you guys are now on speaking terms, but for him to cease communication with you guys for a bit, he must have been really pissed, thought that you guys were trying to betray him, or what was he thinking?
Yeah, I think he. Yeah, that's a good word.
My father is a man of his word. Mm-hmm. My father is a very tight-lipped, don't talk type of gentleman.
I think he also thinks you guys knew better. What the hell are you doing? Like, why?
Like, really? Did you just do this?
And you know, I didn't tell him. You know, and then when it started to come to fruition, I told a bunch of lies, and then you know, eventually he found out and he blew his top. Probably because of the lies, probably because we should have known better, probably because it was a betrayal. But at the end of the day, years go by. He loves his kids. He's got.
Look at where you guys are.
I mean, I think he would have. He's very proud, but I think he would have hoped that we got there a different way.
That's what I was going to ask, because there's been a lot of things that happened to you, Renee. The whole thing with Junior was televised. Your recovery was televised. All of that, and I wonder, you know, as the way your father might be thinking is, this is exactly what I did not want to happen.
Yeah. I mean, at first, when he first started talking to us, and then that other things happened, then he wasn't talking to us again, and it goes up and down, because, he hates a lot of things that went on, Junior being one of them, and Renee's recovery being another.
My father never wanted my secrets to ever be told. Because secrets are secrets and never supposed to be told.
He's trying to protect you.
But what my father didn't realize were those were the secrets that were killing me. So when I talk about domestic violence, when I talk about drug addiction, when I talk about a sexual assault, when I talk about all of the things that I have endured over the last 20 some odd years, are from me keeping them quiet is what made me sicker. Because they always say you're only as sick as your secrets. And my secrets were very sick secrets. So I was trying to, you know, clean my slate. And that's another thing with the show,
that's
you know.
why she doesn't want to turn the cameras off.
Yeah,
So was it like a therapy in a way, that being with the cameras?
It wasn't just for me. I know that there are people like me.
Right,
and I know that they can't tell their parents or they can't tell their partners. They can't speak about it because it's this, you know, like, hush, oh my God, not an addict. Like, oh my God, you know what? They must live in the street. No, I don't live in the street. I live in a big house. I drive a nice car. I'm a smart woman. But yes, that's a part of my life.
Well,
and I'm not embarrassed by it. I mean, I'm embarrassed by my actions when I do things like Vegas. But I'm not embarrassed of who I am, because who I am is maybe saving one life. And how could you be embarrassed about saving a life?
Of course.
You know, that's a reward.
Right. We talk about that all the time on our Mob Wives After Show, and how you're writing these books, and honestly, you have so much to speak to. We almost want to see like a self-help book from you, or something out there that's like, because what you're doing for women it's really amazing.
Thank you.
And I'm wondering if in any way other than being therapeutic, does it make you feel safer, more comfortable, knowing protection, that these cameras are around you?
Oh, protect me from what?
From
my ex-husband?
Yeah, from your ex-husband.
Junior.
You did say that before.
Shut up.
You don't like it?
No, I said that when there were no cameras, though. Yes, I do, because I don't lie. I did say it because I have feared for my life for many years.
You're okay.
He's not a nice person. Yes, I do feel better.
So I'm glad that the show can do that for you, as well as reach out to other women and show them that it's okay. And
well, you know what? It's sad, but the one time in my life where I have to say is tell someone is when you're being abused.
Yeah.
You have to.
Absolutely. And we see you finally do. You go to see a person to go help you, and you were calling that ratting, which is absolutely was not. Which confused us a little bit here, why going to see somebody for protection, a lawyer, would be ratting in any world.
Because you're not supposed to. And again, this goes back to being as sick as your secrets. In my lifestyle, you're not supposed to tell anybody anything. So that means you don't even tell your parents if something is happening. And what I'm trying to say to women is tell someone that it is happening, because you're going to end up dead. Or, God forbid, badly body parts broken, and then your mind falls apart. So your mind falls apart, and that's where I struggle with addiction and a lot of other things in my life. Hence the delicious remark and things like that.
And that's why it's very touchy to her, and she feels like it's, Natalie, you're not close enough to me. You're not even a friend yet. You can't talk about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, she don't even like when I talk about it.
No, you know, it's a very serious thing, and there's so many women that are suffering behind closed doors, and it's very sad to me because I know what it's like, and you know, that's what happened in rehab. Why I allowed the cameras in is because those women were so brave to tell their story on camera. The boys and the girls. That took. Forget about me being the brave one. They're the heroes because they're really showing, you know, across the board, it's every age, it's every race. It doesn't make a difference. Mothers, children, it doesn't matter. Grandparents, it doesn't matter. We're all the same. And that's the way I feel about the women, is we could probably empower each other much more if we just, you know, were a little kinder to each other and just said, listen, I really don't like you, but you're suffering from something that I understand, so let me help you there. I don't want to be your friend. I just want to help you. Yeah. And you don't have to be somebody's friend to help them. You just got to be a good soul.
Yeah. No, I know, and I believe that even if somebody like Natalie was struggling with something and came to you, you would help them, even if they weren't your friend.
She honestly, I don't like her for shit. If she called me right now and said, can you make a phone call? Can you help me with this or that? I would still do it, because you know what? If I didn't do it, then I'm a creep. And I'm not a creep.
Yeah. This is one of the reasons why we love Mob Wives so much, because this is real stuff that you're helping women, like, reach out and speak. It's not the housewives, and it's not all that. If this is real life, and you're helping people that have real problems, and like you said, when the people that is speaking out in rehab, it's touching. Like, just to see you here, it's really touching.
Yeah, I know. I got really emotional. I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
Oh my God, please do not apologize.
Because it's so frustrating to be on my end sometimes, because you don't get to tell the whole story. And you know what? I can, after this little therapy session, I could sit here and say, like, I don't even care anymore. Like, I don't care anymore.
It's hard to put the energy out there to care.
Like, I just don't care. Like, if you hate me, hate me. You have to wake up with yourself. I just want to be really left alone. You know, and I know that's hard when you're on a TV show called Mob Wives, but let's stick to what we came here for. We're talking about our lives as women, what we go through. The cat fight this year, for me, I saw a tremendous change, and it became very catty. From season 1, 2, and 3, where there were real things.
Yeah,
aside from Alicia's situation or my ex-husband, there was nothing but cattiness going on.
And that's one thing that we noticed in doing the after show here, because we had watched every season and we talk about it. And in the past, we felt that some of the drama, there was just more meat to it. This season, especially with the Natalie and the whole thing, we're like, it just became catty and superficial. Not the Alicia thing, but
it was ridiculous. A fucking word, man. It's a word, and no one say it anymore, because the new word is delectable. It's no longer delicious. But it just gets to the point where people don't even want to say the word around me. And then people want to say the word to me, expecting me to get a rise out of me.
You did pick up the cleaver.
I did. Okay, this is TV. I do entertain. By no means was I going to chop her up.
I know.
This is actually a gift for the book, because How to Use a Meat Cleaver. I wanted you to have your own. But it's to the point.
Everybody needs a meat cleaver in their life.
Yes.
Right.
I really do.
It works from many different angles.
Like all different kinds of meat, you mean? Of course, yes. I'm with you on that one. I'm totally with you.
I wish all the girls well, whatever they decide to do in life. I really do. I just stay in your own fucking lane, please.
So one of the things that I remember in talking to you, because we interviewed you for last season, and you were very open about your recovery, and you said that was one of the things that you're proud of, is the fact that you were able to reach so many people, and you were exposed to so much of that recovery process. And then you did say at the beginning of this interview that you don't want to share that anymore, that it's precious for you and you don't want to put that out anymore.
Okay, no, I will talk about recovery till I'm blue in the face, but when I am attacked, my recovery is attacked, I'm not talking about it, because nobody knows what it's like to be me. And you're not going to sit there on the other end and say, well, you did this, and you know what? You relapsed way before. Bitch, I know I fucking relapsed. I am I drank on TV. You think I don't know there was backlash coming? I know what I'm doing. You know who I have to talk to? My sponsor and God. I don't got to tell anybody else if I don't want to.
Maybe AJ.
AJ knows everything.
I know. He's amazing.
Okay.
Yeah, we love him here.
We love him.
Thank you. And how, you know what? And I'm glad you said that, because as long as AJ and my family have forgiven me, you know what? If somebody else doesn't, you know what? I don't give a fuck. Plain and simple. I don't care anymore. I don't. I have to make good with God. Me alone. So someone attacking me when I know that I did wrong, you don't got to point it out. America saw it. We're not blind. Nobody was blind. Everybody saw me drink the wine.
Yeah, it's like she was trying to call you out, but we did watch the season. I mean, we're watching the reunion. Of course we watched it.
Like I was lying. I never lied.
Yeah.
I never lied. I didn't give you the full list of every drug or drink I, sipped. I don't have to. And that's what people just don't seem to understand. Reality TV, I let you see me relapse, which was the most disgraceful thing in the world to me, humiliating to me, to my family. My family is okay with me today. Therefore, that guilt for what I've done, I have to, it's a bag. And there's a bag of rocks that you carry around in recovery. And when you put the bag down, the load gets lighter. So I put the bag down, and that's it. I'm not picking the bag back up. And I'm not feeling guilty for it anymore. And no one's going to make me feel guilty or out me on national television without me telling you, guess what? If you want to go in that direction, let's go. Oh, you want to get in my lane? Okay. So, put your derby hat on, sweetie pie.
Because you're driving a big truck.
And let me tell you, I know how to drive.
That she does. Yeah.
So I know that we're watching it. Especially last season, we were really rooting for your recovery and everything. And then watching this season unfold with your relapsing, what was it that I mean, if you want to get into it, what was it that caused a relapse? Is it the pressures of filming, being around the other women, or was it completely unassociated with that?
It was, I think for me, I'm not going to ever blame filming. I will say that some of the things the women did made me feel bad about myself. So it's not their fault. It's my fault for not building up my self-esteem.
Like what kind of things?
They're mean. They're mean girls.
The cattiness, like you're
They're mean
talking
girls.
Like all of them?
They're mean girls.
Even Big Ange?
No. They're mean girls.
So everyone except for Big Ange.
They're mean. Like, they're mean.
Really?
I got one who's threatening to always crack my fucking head. Please.
Drito's mean?
Really? Are you watching the same show? Did you see the reunion?
Well, that was okay. We didn't understand that.
Was that mean?
That was strange.
That was just weird. We didn't get it.
Speaking of that,
I still don't get it.
Was that a producer thing?
Yeah.
No.
So she completely on her own decided to bring this back.
The producers do not.
We don't produce.
Do not produce our words.
Words out of people's mouths. We do not. We do not set anything up. This is everything that you see is really happening.
Why did she bring that up though? It wasn't even on the season. I figured you guys must have said something to her.
No.
That's what we thought. Our theory was that okay, Drita, you don't have much to say right now. Throw this out there, see what Renee says.
And
No.
so,
you girls are extremely smart.
Jeez. Thank you. We'll take it.
Yeah. Okay. Here's how I feel. You wanted the last few minutes of the camera. You got it. You threw a fit for something that really had nothing to do with the season.
And all the promos, they were all.
And if you would have spoken to me off camera, this would have never happened. But you want to attack me, listen, everybody knows Drita could kick my ass, but so could the 5-year-old in the sandbox. I'm not a fighter. So now I'm looking at you like you're a bully. Something that you say you're not and that you protect your family from, you're bullying me. We know a bully is somebody who picks on somebody who is weaker than them. Now, mentally, am I weaker? No. Physically, I'm weaker. Okay? So you're attacking me. For what? For something. The expression on my face, I think, told the whole story. Because I was like,
it did.
Where?
Yeah, it was weird.
So what I'm saying is, I experienced that shit all year long. Off camera. Little digs, little this, little that.
From Drita
that little
specifically?
remark in Vegas. You think you're Al Capone. Sweetie pie, I'm Renee Graziano. Fuck Al Capone and fuck the rest of them. I don't mean it like that. No. What I mean is...
Just keep going. You're on a roll. Please. Leave me out of
Excuse
it.
me. What I mean is...
Keep it moving.
I love it.
What I mean is I'm not them. I don't need to... I'm not pretending to be them. I'm not pretending to be anybody but myself. I'm not a tough guy. But I will attack if I have to. I'm very colorful with my words. Like, I'll have you dig your own hole. Really? Come on. I'm not, you know what? It's just the way I talk. And it just, it's
theatrics.
It is. It's not for TV, but that's how I talk.
Let me clarify that. It's not for TV. She's been doing this for years, since she's young.
Like little 5-year-old Renee.
Little 5-year-old Renee is all about theatrics. She'll tell you a story, and these words will come out, not those, but words, colorful words will come out of her mouth. And she's putting on a show all the time. This is Renee. She wanted to be Lucille Ball. She wanted to be Carol Burnett. She wanted to be...
Blondie, Joan Jett.
Oh, Jesus, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
But Tracy
Ullman.
She's in character. This is who she is. So when she's saying these things, I don't think she's meaning them literally. It's part of her character.
But it's interesting because you're also very sensitive.
Extremely.
Oh my God,
You're
am I
very
ever?
sensitive. Yeah.
I'm a Cancer. I'm a hot mess.
I'm a Cancer.
Yeah.
Look at us.
I'm a hot mess that way. I'm very sensitive, so...
But I tell her, if you can't, don't open the floodgates if you're not ready for the flood.
And that was one of the things I know Drita said, or I don't know, Drita, some of them said,
I'm hot.
if you can't throw it, if you can't dish it, if you can't take it, don't dish it.
Right.
I think you said that to Natalie.
Or
I can't listen.
Somebody said that, or maybe she
I don't
said it.
listen. The truth is always hard to hear. Okay, so I'm fine with the truth. I'll be mad for a hot second, but then it'll sink in. I'll be like, okay, I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But when you're sitting there in Vegas around the table, every one of them, including Angela, and you're entertaining Drita making fun of me when I'm clearly really fucking sick at this point. Okay, I'm not okay with that. To me, you're a mean girl. You're a mean girl. This is a real situation that somebody's experiencing, and listen, no, everybody saw it. I went, and I'm not proud of it. I didn't pretend to be somebody else. I went and I got Natalie. I snatched it. It wasn't cool. It was not sexy. It was not mature. It was none of that. But don't say I'm not going to handle myself, and I can handle myself. I'm not a fighter, and I shouldn't. But the point is, you're all sitting around there laughing, he, making fun of a person when that person's suffering. I'm not going to sit there and make fun of somebody when they're clearly not in the right frame of mind.
Kicking them when they're down.
Really? I'm just not. As much as I don't like Natalie, you know, I'm not going to make fun of the girl. I just don't like her, but I'm not going to make fun of her. I'm not going to be the mean girl that says all these crazy things about her. I'm not going to say that. I'm going to point out the facts. And those might not be nice because they're true, but I'm not gonna, call you names. It's unnecessary.
Jenn, your face during this, I got to know, what are you thinking when she's saying all of this? Because you do have stakes in all of these women. They make your show. So what is it that you're thinking?
Well,
she's playing this.
What?
She's
got the producer hat on?
Well, no, I mean, I could, you want both answers? I could give you the sister answer and the producer
give it
answer. The producer answers, first of all, I don't agree on Angela. I don't think that she had any part of kicking you while you were down. She just doesn't often voice her own opinion. And she'll just sit there and take it all in.
But she also sat there and laughed with them when they did make fun of me.
She didn't laugh at you, Renee.
Oh, okay.
She did not laugh.
Well, then, you know what? They must have edited that laugh in. Because that's what I saw.
Okay, yeah, there goes another conspiracy theory. Anyway.
Okay.
What was the question?
Well, how do you feel about everything she just said?
Yeah.
As a sister, I guess, too.
Which part? Them making fun of her or kicking her while she's down? I mean, listen, at the end of the day, from a sister's perspective, it's hurtful and nobody likes it. You know, from a sister, I'd like to say a few choice words to a few choice people. But at the same time, I also feel, you put yourself in a situation. You did wrong things. Should people make fun of her while she's down and kick her while she's down? Absolutely, positively not. Especially when everyone has been down and out in one way, shape, or form, in their life. Pick each other up, like she said. But from the producer perspective, like I said, we don't step in. We let them do what they're doing. I'm never going to sit there and say, hey, that's my sister, don't talk about her. I never said, hey, Drita, don't talk about Karen. Hey, Karen, don't talk about Drita. Keep in mind, they were all my friends. Drita and I grew up together since 19 years old as well.
Yeah.
So they were fighting each other, and I had to pretend I didn't even know either one of them. But if there was no television show and this were really happening in real life, I would have responded the exact same way between Karen and Drita. I would have said, this is between the two of you. I'm friends with the both of you. Leave me out of it. Call me when it's over.
Well, that did seem to be your take on the life. You were a little more removed from the lifestyle from what we have heard, more so than Renee was. And I am curious, so I know you were working at Sony Music originally, and you were down a path of music, and then you were writing a scripted show, and then Mob Wives came to you. You're like, oh my gosh, this is under my nose, let's do this. And then in our showrunner show, you said you made a sizzle. But how on earth, sizzles, I don't know if people know this, they cost thousands and thousands of dollars, Where was this from, the money from the lifestyle or from work? Like, how are you tying all this together?
My sizzle.
No.
I got this. That was my question.
Okay.
Talk to the hand.
First of all, I've always had a job.
Yeah, of course.
That's first and foremost. I worked at Sony, and when I did the sizzle, I was actually working at a marketing communications firm. And I also had my own firm at the time. The sizzle, honestly, I've got a ton of friends. I know a ton of people. So the club scenes, when you're in there, we didn't pay location fees. It's favors and stuff like that. A lot of it was favors, and I save. I'm a very
Absolutely.
Excuse me. What would you call me? I am not cheap. I am very frugal.
I'm a big spender. I spend it all. Spend it all while you got it and you're alive. Spend it.
Honestly, the cost of the tape was very minimal.
Okay.
But that's irrelevant. But
yeah, so you go down this path, though, of Mob Wives, and then we get Mob Wives Chicago, we get Big Angie's show, and then the spin-off in Miami. Are we going to go back to music or to scripted TV at some point, or are you in this now and this is your scene?
I'm doing everything. I approach business from a 360-degree perspective at all times. So what can I do in and around? I look at this as not just a TV show, it's the business of Mob Wives. So what can I do in and around Mob Wives to create other opportunities and situations that will grow and spawn from it and live on beyond the show?
And that's exactly what your sister's doing as well with Mob Candy.
Yeah.
Mob Candy.
And Mob Candy.
book.
We've got a family cookbook coming out. She's got another book.
We have the book. Family Cookbook is out.
Yes.
That's out. That's already.
I'm sorry, yes. Family Cookbook is
out.
out. She has another book coming out. Angela has a wine. So I try to figure out ways in which every one of the women can kind of branch off and have things that will live on beyond the show. As far as I go, yes, I'm still working on a scripted show. I'm still in music. I have an artist, Nikki Valentine, that I'm developing right now. I've got about, honestly, 21 different shows, both scripted and reality, in various stages of development. I never stop working. I love it. And I help Renee with her stuff.
She's able to do that where I could never do what
You
she
can never
does.
do what? Which
What
part?
she does? Be a producer and watch my sister go through what I do?
Oh, no, she could never.
Oh,
She'd
no.
be jumping in that scene every 5 seconds.
Listen, and I can't fight, but let me tell you something. Go for somebody in my family.
Well, it's very hard, I can imagine, to compartmentalize the way you do.
It is. It 100% is. There were times in my head I'm just like, okay, don't listen. And I don't. And I'll walk away and I'll leave the room. Or I'll just start talking to somebody else about something else. And I have to, and like I said, I told Renee, you want to go on this show. You're no different than anybody else. You're going to be treated the same way everyone else is. You're never getting special treatment. And honestly, sometimes she gets it worse because I'm making sure she doesn't get special treatment. So she probably gets worse treatment than she should.
But in Jennifer's defense, I will say this. I definitely respect her for the ability to shut off her feelings for me. And I know that sounds very strange because a couple of the girls have passed remarks. Look what she does to her own sister and whatnot. What she's a businesswoman.
No,
I signed up for it. And my goods, my bads, they're mine. They're mine. And what I do love about my sister is when I'm done working and we're done, we're with cameras down, whatever, she will talk to me about the situation and try to make me feel better, because she does feel absolutely horrible when I am getting attacked. And she knows, especially at the reunion, I know that my sister felt some type of way. She'd have to be the ice princess of all times in the world not to feel something when your sister is sitting there defending everything in her life, and you can clearly see it was an attack on me. But what she does is, it's her job, and that's why she's able to make great shows, and that's why she's able to have 5 seasons, because she's not putting me out there. She's not asking me out.
There have been times, like with the Junior situation, I wanted to turn the cameras off. It was very personal to the family. She didn't want that. In Vegas, I wanted to send her home. We had, like, literally, if the show was really the show in the room between me and her in Vegas, honestly, because I was just like, pack your shit. Oh, I can curse. She curses.
Yeah.
Pack your shit. You're getting the fuck out of here. That's it. You cannot do this. Whatever. And she almost, like, when she says she doesn't fight, she doesn't, but she can, because she's very strong. She just doesn't know it. So she's like blocking, throwing me all over the room.
Really? Was I?
You don't remember?
No.
Not quite.
Okay, maybe let's not go there. But yeah, you know, she wouldn't leave. She wouldn't leave. She wouldn't let us go. Yeah.
So you wouldn't. That's interesting though, because you wouldn't leave, and you're in the middle of your relapse, or you know.
No, I want. This is my show too. I deserve to be here. I'm staying. I want to be. Don't you dare turn those cameras off of me. I'm like, are you serious? And then, you know, at a point, it's like, okay. And she said this in a very coherent frame of mind before. This is my journey. This is my destiny. I'm here to teach other people. Let it shine.
Not to act like I do.
What does your older sister think when she sees, because she's the eldest of the 3 of you, when she sees, and she was the most involved in kind of the mob, right? As you guys were growing up.
There is no mob, honey.
Well,
no.
sorry.
We were involved in
My
a
older
lifestyle.
sister. Sorry.
Gotta use the lifestyle.
And my older sister wants to kick the fucking shit out of each and every single one of them, because she cannot stomach.
Not Angela. She's
Not
very good
Angela.
friends
Not
with
Angela.
So
Angela really don't count. Like, as she's not part of the Mean Girl Club.
Who's the worst? Is it Drita?
Who's the worst?
I'd say, well, because it sounds like, because
What do you mean by worst?
In a sense, because the new girls are new girls, and it sounds like they're trying to present like a storyline and create, like you said, ruffle some feathers. But Drita's already, she's got her personality. She's there, like, in a way. She doesn't need to kick you when you're down.
No, I'll be honest. I'm very disappointed, and I'm very hurt. I'm very offended. I'm not going to say her and I have always been buddy-buddy, because we're definitely not. I don't speak to her when we don't work. You know, I did after the reunion. I did text her a couple times. I wanted to go in and buy makeup. I sent one of my son's friends in to get stuff from her store that they wanted to go. It was all nicey nice, and then I turn on a little clip of what they said.
Just so you know, Renee didn't watch the reunion. She doesn't sometimes watch the episode. She doesn't want to see it.
Oh.
So she didn't know what really.
I didn't know what was said, and when I saw it, like a clip, matter of fact, today was another clip. I started crying in the news because it's so hurtful when you see, I'll crack your fuck. First of all, where is this coming from? If you were this angry with me, why didn't you address this during the season? Why did you wait?
Or 2 seasons ago.
Yeah, 2 seasons ago.
I didn't understand that.
You're there for me, and then all of a sudden you throw me. You want to throw me a bean. I just don't get it. Like, I would have been much. What I'm going to say about Drita is, I'm very disappointed. I'm very hurt. No, she's not a friend of mine at all. I don't consider her a friend.
But is there room for growth there? Do you think that one day?
No, it's done. It's done now. I think what happened with Drita and I was, we could have been cool. We have there's an issue between her and I, and it's not because of me, and that's all I'll say. She has a problem with somebody else that's related to me, and she needs to take that problem up with that person, not me.
Are we not talking about your sister, though?
He's sitting next to you?
I said I'm not saying. So.
Oh, Lord.
I know, I'm done. When I tell you that I'm done, I'm just really...
I have no issues with that.
No. I'm just really done. I'm just really done. I'm sorry. I'm just done. direct your anger at the person that you're angry at. If you're really mad at me, listen, instead of threatening me, how about you sit across from me and we talk about it? We could talk about it in a screaming voice. We could talk about it in a calm voice. We could get angry. We could roll around if you want. But at least let it be one-on-one, not in front of everybody, especially when it hasn't been all season long. So you kind of blindside me after everybody else just jumped on top of me, you know? As far as Alicia goes, Alicia to me is, I think Alicia likes the fame. I think she likes the spotlight, and that's okay. You know what? There's nothing wrong with it.
You like the fame. You like the spotlight.
No.
She just said it's okay, though.
It's okay. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. There's
But rewind. You like the fame, you like the spotlight, was her question.
Do I?
Do you like the fame? Do you like the spotlight?
Certain, when it's positive, yes. When it's negative, of course not. I don't want to be attached to
She does like it.
Of course I do. Who doesn't like?
You definitely like it, but you're right. When it's negative, you definitely
Who
don't like
doesn't?
it.
No, I don't like it. You know what I mean? But you have to take them together. So I think that for her, she has to understand that there's going to be negative with the positive. And if you learn how to balance the two of them, you'll shine more than you'll.
She doesn't have as much practice, though.
I know that. So learn.
Right.
Don't just come in the game like, like I said, Anthony Oakley, guns blazing, when you really don't know if you should be shooting at that target or that target. You know what I mean? As far as Natalie, I just think Natalie wants it so bad that she was going to do anything to get it, whether it was show her ass in the funeral parlor or jump on the stage at somebody else's event. She was going to do whatever she had to get it. And I mean, she probably would have done anything she had to get it.
It read on TV.
I think you could tell.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I think as a viewer, that's what it looked
But
like.
again, you already have the spotlight. You're on TV. So what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like me. Did my relapse was a real relapse. You know, I didn't do that for spotlight.
Of course not.
Shit, now I'd like to say I wish they didn't show the whole thing, or, I wish it never happened, but my blessing and my curse is my blessing, because my blessing is to take my curse and show somebody that it's a curse. You know what I mean? This is a curse, and unless you fix it, you're going to have the blessing and the curse. You're not just going to have the blessings. So I think for me, I've learned how to deal with mine. I've learned how to deal with myself. I'm 44. I just figured out my name is Renee Graziano. It's not Anthony's daughter. It's not Hector's ex-wife. It's not AJ's mother. It's Renee, and I'm a wonderful person.
That's an important lesson,
my name
too.
is Renee Graziano, and I'm a wonderful person.
I love it.
But
and here we're obviously we're huge fans and we're always rooting for you. So when I hear that you're going to be obviously filming another season,
maybe I don't.
Maybe
I haven't
you don't
made
know
my
yet.
decision. No.
So that's still up in the air.
Very much. Right now, I like where I am
Okay.
because although I did get a little excited, and I'm going to say this, I do apologize for getting bent out of shape. And if I said anything to offend any of the girls, I'm sorry, because I got, no, not Natalie. She don't count. She don't count. She don't get a pass. She used up all her passes. I'm saying it because they're not all really bad people. They're just not my type of people. And that's it. They're not, somebody else can deal with the Drita, the Alicia, the Ange, the Natalie. I can't. Ange I love. And
So what's the pro of going back? Just because it is a television show and you're out there and you do feel more protected and you like being on camera?
No. The pro going back is to say...
Do tell.
The pro for me, if I decided to go back, would be, look how far I've come. I'm getting it.
If you can do this.
I'm getting, anybody can do it. If I can do it, anybody can do it. Because I got to do it with cameras watching on top of it. So I think for me, it would be like, do I have 2 books? Do I have my own music compilations? Do I have my own sunglasses, my own swimwear, my own dress line, my own jewelry? Yeah, I do. I do. I mean, I don't have it without my sister's help. But I did it.
You guys are funny. Renee's talking and her sister's like, no.
Yes, no, she's right. And what I want to say is why it's such a big deal to her is because what she said before, for 44 years she was Anthony's daughter. She was Junior's wife. She was my sister. And Renee always looked to everyone else to take care of her and never took care of herself. And she didn't look to better her own life because she was too busy bettering everybody else's. So now she's actually doing things for herself, and this is why it's more meaningful to me. Like, I'm looking at it like, and I'm not downplaying it, but I'm looking like, okay, you're supposed to have these things. This is what you're supposed to do.
Oh, I can hear the frustration in her voice right now.
No, I have no frustration.
Because she gets so upset with me that I don't have the drive and the passion when I have the ability.
Not at all.
You do too.
Okay, that's not where I was going.
No, but I know that you
wrong
wish
conversation, wrong time.
Yeah, I know you wish I thought a lot better of myself
that 100%.
than I do.
But that's my point. But that's why these things are so much more special to her than they may be to somebody else, because it's about time for Renee to be Renee and have something for Renee.
And that was something you were able to help her achieve.
Yes.
Yeah, the show.
Well, she was able to make me realize that I was really worthy of of things. You know, when part of my depression is I have very, very, very low self-esteem, and you would never think that by looking at me because I know that I'm pretty by visually, I can see it, but I never felt it.
That was part of the mental and emotional abuse, but
Right, but that played a big part, and that plays a big part with the girls too, and that's what I mean when I say mean girls. You know, you don't pick on something about a person when they have big issues. Like my physical body, I have a big issue with it.
And they know you well
it.
enough now to know that.
Right, like I went under the knife, chopped myself up, ended up in the situation I did, and then you're still gonna comment on it? Now, do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to say. That's what I was dealing with. You know, little things like that will psychologically fuck my head up, and that's where self-medicating comes in. Because those are the things I did to deal with it. Now I can't self-medicate because I have to come to terms with those things so I can have my third book.
It's like the chicken and the egg thing, though, because obviously, not counting everything that you experienced with your ex, but recovery and all that. It sounds like the show itself and the women and being around that, it doesn't help your recovery. It's very difficult, and in a way, you're showing, look, I'm recovering, but it's
some of the things that come along with the show are helping in recovery, but some are also hurting.
Yeah.
And she's at a point, and I honestly am at a point where, and she might not like to hear this, but I'm at a point where it's okay, is it time for her to take a break? Should she get off the show? Because she's at a point where, okay, you've built yourself up to a point where you do have these things. Now, don't let it take you back again. Take it and go forward.
Forward, yes.
So, but at the same time, are you in a place in your career where all these things can sustain? Do you need that one more season for that notoriety to help it last a little longer?
And does Mob Wives need the executive drama queen to go on?
I
think it does.
I do too. But
you're doing your sister a favor.
but in the same breath, I'm actually realizing that maybe it's not a good place for me anymore, and that's a huge step in, and that's growth, so much growth, because I would have been like, I can do it. No, I don't know if I can, and that's the truth.
Speaking about that, though, so we know that after Mob Wives, you have a career in writing and in fashion and all these things. But is there going to be, do you think, or would you like there to be a further career in the entertainment industry?
You want me to answer that?
Okay.
Renee and I have what?
Absolutely. I was made for television.
That's the thing. I can't imagine when you say you're thinking about when you say thinking about not coming back to Mob Wives. I'm like,
but maybe not reality TV. Maybe I
is,
could do other stuff.
I think her place is behind the camera. She's created a film that we're working on. She's very creative. She writes amazing. So me as this is the benefit of having the sister who's the executive producer, is when she's done there, she can come over here and we're going to create and build things together.
And that's the blessing of having the executive drama queen as the sister, because I can help build it from the back.
Wait, can you guys talk for a second? So a film, what's going on here?
It's early development. It's an idea that Renee came up with. We're commissioning a writer right now to write the script.
Great.
It's an amazing idea. Again, it's something that's very close to home to her.
Is it about your young life?
No. It's not her. It's not.
I read something that you guys were doing something pertaining to Mob Wives growing up. Like
that was actually the catalyst. I was working on something about myself growing up. That was the catalyst to Mob Wives. And yes, I am going back to that. But this movie in particular is nothing to do with her life per se. Maybe this much of it. And she took this idea and spun it into a romantic comedy. And it's really good. I love it. And not because she's my sister, because believe me, she gives me things and I'm like, yeah, okay.
All the time.
Call me tomorrow, please. Hang up, click.
Because I believe that my life is a romantic comedy, actually. You know, the most important thing for me is, and I wish they would show more of it on My Wives, is that I am really hilarious. I love to make people laugh. I will do we just went to the Bahamas.
Oh, we got to show it.
Okay, we just went to the Bahamas.
Careful with the.
Yeah, no, I'm very good with one.
I'm seeing you with the cleaver.
We
and I'm
went
like,
to the,
You gotta show
we
it,
went
you
to the
gotta show it.
Bahamas, and show it. Okay, so we went to the Bahamas. It was so much fun, and get it.
Okay.
So I was in the water, and I made friends with the lifeguard, and I was like, all right, we're gonna make this video. I'm gonna pretend I'm drowning, and you're gonna save me.
Oh my God.
So he saves me, and then I tell him, you gotta drop me. And then he drops me, and the wave takes me, but the wave really took me. And we did it like 6 times.
Oh, my God.
And it was
It's
just
very
doing
quick. It's very quick.
Okay.
oh my gosh.
Oh, your stuff.
Okay.
It's very quick.
We're gonna have to see. I love it. I love it. Okay, so up, lifeguard's in.
The lifeguard.
Lifeguard's got her. And
Okay, you're gonna have to send us that video so we can.
Yes, I would love it.
So we can put it in the show.
Yep, and she's getting taken in. Nope. Amazing.
Okay, we did that. We did like 9 takes of that.
Oh my God.
Oh, slide it across.
Should we want to see it? You want to see it?
I am, and then I did I made up a hashtag dance. I was doing just.
Wait, that we can see that. Or what is the hashtag dance?
It's in there. We'll send you the video.
Send us the video.
Yeah, but let's see the hashtag dance.
I know. It's got to be on tape. Because no, I can't do it
Well,
right
we
now.
are on tape. You could do it.
The hashtag.
And then I was like, I was doing these crazy things. Like I was like a hip cheerleader doing just crazy, outrageous things to make my friends laugh.
So comedy. We want to go in the comedy route.
Yes, that has always been a dream.
Spoofs, a lot of SNL. SNL needs her.
Like
How fun! It would be so much fun to see you actually as a guest host of SNL.
That would be like.
Let's throw that out there.
Yeah, throw
Let's
it
throw
out
it out
there.
there.
Because lately, whenever I throw something out, it's happening.
Really?
And that's when you're.
Well, if you go on, then you have to
That's when
invite us
you're
on SNL.
Yes. Oh, that would
We
be
put
just
the
so
good
much fun.
juju out there.
We're rooting for you.
Yes, it's nice to do something else aside from make people cry and want to throw things. I want to make
And it's
people
better
laugh.
for you too. Better for your
way
recovery. It's better
yes.
for you as a
It's
person.
better just all around. I mean, the recovery, it's funny, but when I'm, moving in a forward direction, I'm not taking any medication for the depression, and it's helping for me because the pills I forget to take. And
So right now you're taking nothing.
Nope.
And you feel great.
How
I
are you
take
doing?
Benadryl to sleep because I have sleeping. I don't sleep, which is part of my depression.
it's
Because
part
your
of
mind
it.
runs.
Because I can
Yeah.
go for 2 days with no sleep.
And because you're a cancer, so I get that.
Yeah, so it's very,
And
very
middle
hard.
child.
Yeah,
Yeah, so if I don't,
So
if I
with you.
sleep, I'm good. If I'm sleeping, I'm good. So if you notice towards the end of the season, I was really on point. I was sleeping. I was doing things for myself.
You weren't letting things piss you off. You
No,
were
I
talking
wa-
to your real friends that we know are not your friends on the show. By the way,
Exactly.
who's that Nicole girl? Or?
Nicole is my friend since she was the first person that saw my engagement ring. Actually, I know her since I'm 16 years old.
Okay.
But I have amazing, my girlfriend Carla Marino,
yeah.
who unfortunately got thrown on, under the bus this season, who had nothing to do with anybody's husband. Again, that's another thing I was defending all season long.
Right.
So there was a lot.
Sticking up for your friends.
Right. Which she couldn't stick up for herself because the 2 girls couldn't meet. I don't want to go into, if I do go back, I don't want to go back with any tension, although after these interviews, I'm pretty much fucked. But if we were all able to sit down and iron it out prior and really be open and honest with each other, then we could have probably one of the most amazing seasons.
Seriously. I agree with
Amazing
that.
seasons. If the women were smart and wanted their careers to move super quick and just get to a different plateau than they've ever imagined, it would be to be open, honest, put it all out on the table, and really put it out on the table.
Yeah. Okay, question though. We walk out of here today, and Jen, what do you say to Renee?
Oh shit! I'm in so much
Please don't talk
trouble.
about that stuff with me in the same interview ever again.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Why? You did a really good job.
Thank you, but you put me in a very uncomfortable situation because I don't always agree with. I agree with a lot of what you're saying, but I also have to, keep it.
Well, you did. Again,
I know,
you
but I just don't like.
You both were very true to your character, absolutely.
Right. Well, I'm sorry. I just really feel some type of way, and I'm tired of being quiet. You just happen to be here today.
Great. Can we just talk about the meat cleaver?
Oh my
Yes.
God.
Yeah, actually, that wasn't cool just now, the way you picked that up.
Okay, well, we do have to wrap up, but I
Yes,
want to
let's-
hear what you guys are working on right now. I want to hear about your books. Just real quickly, let people know about your cookbook, about your romance book, where people can get it. Erotic novel.
How to use
I know.
How to Use a Meat Cleaver is a family cookbook. It's Renee, myself, and my older sister Lana, who's a restaurateur. Renee has an erotic mob thriller, and this book takes a few pieces out of Renee's real life and kind of fictionalizes it a bit and meshes it up together, and you get this character that's like a combination of several guys that she's known over life, and it's about Renee Graziano, who just happens to have green eyes and long black hair.
Oh,
Of course.
Worked in the fashion industry, dates mob guys, you know.
Never heard of her.
She's got Mob Candy Swim, and Mob Candy Sun, which is eyeglasses, is coming.
Oh.
Where can we find it, though?
At mobcandystore.com.
Okay.
And also for the book, it's with Penguin and Pergy, and you can purchase it on, there's a link on reneegraziano.com. Just go there, and you can pre-order the Playing with Fire as well.
I want to read it.
Yes, I'm
I
coming
really
back
want to.
in for April 17th. I'm back in
Okay, great.
town, so we can do.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
We can do
It's
a
a
little
very
book club.
fun
We
Yeah.
have Book Circle Online is one of our sister networks, and we talk
I
about
would
books,
love
so you got to
it.
come in.
That would be
Absolutely.
fun. We could read some dirty things.
Absolutely, we love that.
Just girls.
Yeah, just girls.
Reading out loud, do you ever just kind of you're like, oh, I shouldn't be here right now. I need to
Oh my God! I wrote it, and I was like, oh my God! I was like, that is so good.
I can't even cuss on there. I'd be like, ooh, I'm getting hot. All right, so we got to wrap it up. But ladies, thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're amazing.
You are
Thank you.
amazing.
Thank you.
You're amazing. And where's your Twitter, Instagram, where people can follow you?
I'm Renee Graziano. On everything. Yes, I am Renee. I'm Renee Graziano, signing off.
Jenn Graziano, 2 N's.
All right, guys, and I'm your host, Erika Garcia Rojas. Thank you so much for tuning in here and signing off with...
At Shaw Broadbent.
You can find
Twitter and Instagram, sorry.
No, you're good, and you can find me at Roxy Striar.
And you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at IamEGR. Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later, bitches.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.